Fantastic work, Ohm, and thank you, Draymond Green, for the time as well. There's so much to unpack from this interview, but I wrote down, I wasn't the most thrilled initially, and then I can't write down the hmms, and the like Draymond Green acting out, thinking through the Chris Paul acquisition. Does it feel fair to say that maybe he was a little bit taken off guard by this?
This is what I love about Draymond, is that he doesn't hold back. He doesn't hide his emotions. And look, I think it would have been very easy for any team to be like, no, we absolutely embraced him with open arms. Draymond is admitting that they had beef, you know? I mean, this is a playoff rival that he was trying to beat. I don't know, beef might be a little too strong.
No, it's true. I think there was beef there.
Beef
you know, like, I actually asked him, I said, is this like Pippen and Rodman teaming up together and having to find a common bond? And he said, I hope so, because those two made history together. But I think he said it. He said, I had to wrap my mind around this.
Yep.
I had to give it some time to digest both sides.
Yeah.
But then he said, we got in the gym together. We've seen each other. We've had face-to-face conversations. And I think Draymond feels more comfortable probably with that. This is a more veteran-laden group. Obviously, I think he knows he played a part last year in the fracturing of that team chemistry, obviously, with the punch. And he admits he couldn't lead the same way he did or is accustomed to. I think he's looking forward to now that this is a veteran group. I think he feels like the chemistry is going to be good. He knows there's another hump they got to get over once they're actually on the court together, because, listen, style play, you wonder if this is going to fit, right? Warriors tend to hold the ball for like less than 3 seconds, each of them.
Right.
They move it so fast. And Chris Paul, he averages like over 5 seconds holding the ball.
But what I like, and first and foremost, fantastic interview. And I really appreciate anytime Draymond grabs a mic, because he's vulnerable, he's honest. He may not always be right, but he tells you exactly what he's thinking. We need more of that. We need more athletes to be that candid. But yeah, I think it's going to work, because they already are saying, hey, we want to get him a championship. It's not like we want him to start. We need him to have the ball. It's like our goal is for all of us, this unit, to be there at the end of the year saying we have the trophy. So that's one to level set. And then the basketball, I mean, CP3, I mean, we know the Warriors, they play with a high pace, but they also have high turnovers.
Sure.
And I think bringing in Chris Paul was this idea of let's slow down. Our guys are getting older. It's a fact of life, including Chris Paul, but his IQ is still there.
Right.
He's someone who is third right now all time in assists. He averaged over a career 9.5 assists per game. So they see value in that. Now, seeing how it works together, we will wait and see, because it's going to take a while for them to build that chemistry. But I appreciated so many different things. I wrote like so many notes down, because we learned a lot of gems, and we see sort of how the sausage is getting made in Golden State.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the Golden State Warriors are going to need to invoke the S word. And I don't mean the one that you could say on the Pat McAfee show. I mean sacrifice, right? So for more on that, let's bring Zach Lowe into this conversation. Thank you. Zach, what do you think the Warriors are going to have to do? What is the path? I know Mark Spears has reported in recent days that he expects to see Chris Paul starting. What is the path to sacrifice, to seeing Chris Paul in the starting lineup? What does all that look like to you?
Chris Paul is 38 years old. There's only so much adaptation he has left in his body. He's going to have to adapt, obviously, maybe to a new role, definitely to playing alongside Steph, definitely to playing a little faster. But the Warriors, if they're going to embrace what Chris Paul is and what they say he brings to their team, they got to lean in his direction a little bit. Like Chiney said, he can take care of some of their turnover problems. Every single Chris Paul team, A, tends to win more games than they did before, and B, has a really low turnover rate. And the Warriors could stand to stop throwing the ball all over the gym. As for whether he starts or not, I know what Mark said. I personally don't think it's settled, and I think this could be a really delicate issue in training camp and going forward, because Chris Paul has never come off the bench before, and the question I keep coming back to is two things. Number one, if he starts, who's not starting among the starting five that was the best lineup in the NBA last year? It's not going to be Wiggins. It's probably not going to be Clay. Not going to be Draymond. Maybe it's going to be Kevon Looney. You're going to start small like that. And
Very
B,
small.
if you keep talking about how Chris Paul is here to stabilize the offense when Steph is on the bench, then you kind of got to maximize the minutes that Chris Paul plays while Steph is on the bench. The reality is he's probably going to come off the bench some, he's probably going to start some, but he may have to embrace a reserve role for big chunks of the season. That might be the first test this team has in coming together, like Draymond said.
You start talking about history, 5 championships. Like, I think that obviously it puts us in rare, even more rare air than we are in. But it's the goal, you know. And by the way, the goal isn't to stop at 5. The current goal is to just get to 5. And, you know, it puts you in a totally different conversation. I don't like to necessarily put a number on things, but I don't see why we can't get 2 more championships. Why not? I don't see anything in the way stopping that. There's great players in the NBA, I don't doubt that. But I don't see anything stopping us from getting 2 more championships, so why not?
You heard Draymond. Why not? Why not 2? Zach, were you surprised to hear this from him? How many titles do you think are actually realistic for this new look Warriors team?
I love the confidence that the Warriors core has done everything in the NBA. Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer, but winning 1 championship is hard. They've won 4. 2 of them came when they had KD and a completely unbeatable super team. Winning 1 is hard. And as for why not, there's a big fella down in Denver who's going to have something to say about everything that happens in the Western Conference for a long time. There's age, there's injuries. Look, the odds are on 0 greater than 2 being the most likely outcome in terms of how many more they have left in them. But the window is still open. They're in my inner circle of contenders this year. But if you're asking me 0, 1, or 2, I'm sorry, Draymond. I'm going 0. I don't feel great about it. Makes me sad, but that seems most likely to me.
Well, as Ohm and I were talking about, we know that Klay Thompson has taped up in his locker the number of players who have won 5 titles. It is a short list. It is his motivation. It is their motivation. And while the championship future of the Warriors, it's one we're going to debate for a long time, as long as this core is intact.
How do you think the preseason went?
It went pretty good, you know.
Just want to let you know, man, you're a New York Jet.
Sam Martin to punt, deep back the rookie Gibson.
It's a short punt. Gibson on the return.
Breaks the tackle 40, comes to the near side of the block with the 50.
Blockers in front, at the 40, at the Bills 30, inside the 20. Stutter steps to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! And it's a Jet touchdown! This game is over!
All right, so that was undrafted rookie Xavier Gibson, and his story is chronicled on Hard Knocks training camp with the New York Jets, which is streaming right now on Max. Obviously, the Jets' future a little bit in flux after everything that happened with Aaron Rodgers and his Achilles. NFL Live is going to have a little bit more on that. We're not going to try to break down all of that, but what we are going to do is show you a little top of the top of thrilling endings of NBA games. But here's a catch. All of these game winners are from undrafted free agent players. So we're going to go back to 2012.
Oh, yeah.
Linsanity.
That moment was wild for the NBA. Jeremy Lin, the Garden.
Exactly.
Being able to do what he did for the Knicks. That was so much fun.
In Canada, but Raptors
the
fans,
era.
Yeah.
And showing all us Asians that we can do it, Malika. We can do it.
You know what? The stage is yours, my friend. We are going to keep it with the Knicks because John Starks, this is 1997? Not quite.
Oh,
Insane.
man.
Like, what?
John Starks, as they always used to say at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, that is just cold-blooded. Took a little time.
Malika, talk about another guy who lived out his dream. He was once bagging groceries before he was in the NBA.
That's incredible. Those stories are just amazing. You asked for this one, actually.
Okay,
yes.
Which one?
Because you were covering.
Yes,
you were
I don't know if anybody knows who Milt Palacio is, but New Jersey Nets fans will never forget Milt Palacio. A steal off the inbounds and then throws it up before the buzzer to beat them.
This is like something as a player you dream about, having that type of lucky moment.
Well, Jazz
or
fans
skillful.
aren't going to forget this
Byron
one
Scott.
coming up. This is something else I feel like you dream about. When you're on a 10-day contract and then you shine like this, when this is your moment, 2010.
I'm sorry, I'm focused on the jerseys right now.
I'm also focused on LeBron James.
LeBron
watching
James
that
on the
shot
floor.
go down.
I know.
Look at it. That's just incredible.
That's what every player dreams about doing.
Get on the
Standing
table.
up
On the
the table. And then, of course, we got Mr. TJ.
Yep. Yeah, smooth. That was smooth.
Nice.
That was smooth.
Oh, Melo. Poor Melo.
I love
man.
it. The fist pump. Our friend Danny Green in there.
Yeah, I love how it's like
Joel
the game face afterwards.
You're that guy. You're that guy. And then before we head out today, I'm not sure if you all saw this as well. Apparently, I know there are some folks, including our friend Shannon, talking about, well, maybe Tom Brady could make another return. But for now, Janae, look at his
Wait,
form.
hold on. Is this Tom Brady?
Tom Brady is in the gym.
Wasn't he with
Chris Brickley?
Yes.
Wasn't he with? Is he the one that was playing with MJ?
Yes, Tom Brady played with Michael Jordan in the.
Yo, he's smooth with it though.
So all I'm saying is it looks kind of good.
It's not bad.
He captured, I got to keep up with my kids. I got to keep up with all the kids these days.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.